I mean, I'm a huge believer in like in collaboration of any type. You're going to be, you know, a stronger, more well-rounded team, and that's been one of the biggest, hardest things with COVID and everything is like having to be remote and not getting that. And so um, getting access to Co-Create has been really awesome as far as it was really seamless, which I was really pleasantly surprised by. I was just kind of jumping. It's like, oh, we're in the same space, and it works really, really nicely from my experience with it. It it's cool because it feels very fluid. Like there was really no like hiccups or missteps with it. It's kind of just like, oh yeah, like this is what this should be. Like it shouldn't like this is it. Like, you know, there's a lot more potential to, you know, you could bring in images, you could do mood boards, you could do you could, I mean, sketch right there and get ideas out. It feels very loose and playful, kind of very similar to like a whiteboard session. um, and that's something that I've always really appreciated about Gravity Sketches is how versatile it is. Because I'd like to think that some of the work that we're doing with it, we're trying to push it, you know, to its like absolute limits and do like crazy details and crash the file like 5 times and then keep going in and adding more stuff. But then at the same time, you can just go in there and do a pure line art sketch and whip it up in 5 minutes and have, you know, something really cool in 3D that can communicate an idea. In Co-Create, you could be working on like a really intense file, or at the same time, you could just be in there hashing out quick ideas and come out with, you know, 20 different options in 20 minutes, which I think is really, really powerful. Becoming more and more just kind of integrated with the design process and also more efficient. I mean, it's insane how fast you're able to, you know, whip up something in 3D, especially knowing I've done a couple of shoes in CAD programs like Fusion 360, and probably, you know, I don't even know, probably 50 hours on a model, and it doesn't come anywhere close to a model I can do in an hour in Gravity Sketch. So, you know, that's a huge factor. There is a lot of video calls, and that's something that I didn't really expect. You know, when I was thinking about like photo design, there's a lot of the other things that go into the job, which should be expected. But it's funny because for how many times we you know, I'll be FaceTiming Sean about a project or something like that. It's becoming more and more that's being replaced by just like, oh, you're in VR, I'm in VR, let's chat, and like open up a chat. And then even working in separate Gravity Sketch files and still being able to talk and communicate. And it's just so much easier in a lot of ways, and a good form of multitasking. Something that has been really helpful is before Co-Create, it was sometimes difficult to like transfer files or share stuff, and a lot of times you have to pop it out and render it in KeyShot before I present it, just because that's the easiest way to, you know, actually visualize it to someone else who's not in virtual reality. But being able to just open up a file and both be in there and talk about it and critique it is really, really helpful. I think it's going to be a really important part of our workflow from here on out.